name's Richard Finney. I own a company called Captain Fawcett. We specialise in male grooming products. And I'm here actually in the Radisson Hotel Goregaon in Mumbai with my friend Viraj Singh. And we're here to talk about our company's launch into the incredible India.
Something more about the product?
Okay. Captain Fawcett has existed as a company for over 10 years. As you can see, I have a moustache, splendid moustache, as indeed does my dear chum here. We were very much at the beginning of this moustache and beard phenomena. Sorry, am I being boring?
No, just keep
Okay, sorry. Very much as a company, we were very much at the beginning of this moustache and beard phenomena. I've waxed my moustache now for more than 25 years. And I too was in the British film industry. And how it came about, I used to make my wax in a very small tin, and I'd make enough which would last me 6 pots, which would last, as I said, probably for a whole year. Now my wife is a very well-known British film and TV hair and makeup artist. In fact, she got the Emmy for doing the 2nd series of Downton Abbey. She designed Kate Blanchett's hair, which got the Oscar for Elizabeth, and she also got the BAFTA for Gormenghast. So when she started to take my products to work, the whole company exploded beyond our wildest imagination. From there, we then went into beard products, and we are now sold in 40 countries, distributed in 16. And the reason we're in India is because India, in many senses, no pun intended, is a huge growth market. And the reason we're here is with my friend Viraj. We are launching our own Maharajah range of male grooming products. We've started with the moustache wax. This is just literally the toe in the water, the tip in the water, as it were. But we're going to be launching into various other beard products.
Initially, I'd like to tell you a bit about myself. I have a company called the Jodhpur Company. It sounds very Indian, and people relate it to Jodhpur, a place in Rajasthan. But it's more about the bottoms. Now, when you look at old pictures of old India and you see World War I pictures, World War II pictures, riding pictures, hunting pictures, shikar, you'll see the elephant-eared Jodhpur bottoms. So this is what we specialize in. That is what my company do. That's our bread and butter. And it's a revival of attire of the old, where the time where Britain were in India and there was a cross-pollination of many cultures, architecture, fashion, sport. So I don't want that era of fashion to just live in the history books. So that's when I made my first pair of jodhpurs in tweed. I took it to England, I took it to UK, and I must say I do indulge in shooting, from rifle shooting to shotgun shooting and shikar. So there I was in Housestead. I was up on a pheasant shoot, perched on a peg, which is a little wooden peg, and it's tucked into the ground, and that's where you stand before the partridges fly out. So there were 2 partridges that flew out. So those partridges were flying out, bang, bang. I knocked both of them over. It was probably a fluke. But by that time, I heard someone say, "Oh, sir, where did you get your jodhpurs from?" And I thought, "Jodhpurs?" And I looked down, and I thought, "Aha, he's talking about the Jodhpur bottoms." The Jodhpur bottoms that Sir Pratap, Maharajah Pratap Singh from Jodhpur, brought to UK during Queen Victoria's Jubilee. So then I went over to him and I thought he was complimenting the shooting, but he wasn't. He was complimenting my bottoms. And he said, "Sir, who made those for you?" So I said, "My personal tailor from Rajasthan." So he said, "Sir, can you make me a pair?" And then that was it. The Jodhpur company became a company, and we specialize in Edwardian, old style, sporting, horse riding, equestrian attire. Now, being a Rajput, the moustache is a symbolic thing. It's not just a thing of fashion. And when I first met Richie, I was telling him for a Rajput, the moustache is prominent. It's so important. And we're not allowed to take it off until our father passes away as a mark of respect. And Richie was fascinated, to hear the heritage behind the moustache, where there's been certain battles just because of a moustache. And I said, there are many proud Indians in North India who keep the beard, including the Sikhs, the Kshatriya community. And I said, it's a massive thing and we'll never take it off. And I started showing him pictures of my grandfather, my great-grandfather, and we went 4 generations back. And one common thing that we all have, our ancestors, is the curly moustache. So I've always had a moustache. I've had a handlebar for a very long time. So I said to Richie, it just makes sense for us to do something to celebrate the old moustaches of the old, you know, celebrating the Thakurs, the Rajas, the Maharajas, and reviving a moustache, a wax moustache. Now, the last time, if you go through the history books, if you see a wax moustache, we're talking about Maharajah Moustache, Kangarji of Kutch. If you look at his moustache, it's waxed. After that, you don't see any wax moustaches. Now, those chaps used to get their moustache from London, from UK. Now, there's been a break in history. No, you know, the Indian market hasn't known of a moustache wax. And I just thought to myself, Richie, we need to revive heritage. We need to bring this back. And Captain Fawcett, what can I say about Captain Fawcett? I've been using their products for a very long time, 5 years. So the best moustache wax makers in the world. And I'm happy to say that we can now put the Jodhpur name on a tin and praise all the moustaches of old with Richie's help.
This is the first. This is actually, we only made 40. This is the actual original Maharaja sample waxes. Some of you will be lucky enough to have a sample. I mean, if you're a lady and you don't have a moustache, then maybe you would allow one of the gentlemen who has something, because we don't have very many. We don't have enough for everybody. But if you're interested in one, we'd be very pleased if you were to take one. And this is my 7th time in India. It's my first time in Mumbai, and I have to say, I've experienced a great time, wonderful hospitality. But I too have spent a lot of time up in Rajasthan and further up north, up in Himachal Pradesh. And I was aware, even 9-10 years ago when I was coming in, that having a moustache is a symbol really of respect. I'd be coming through the airport and there'd be some businessman with some very expensive luggage in a very expensive suit. But the security man, the customs, the man with the rifle immediately would say, "Hello, sir. Fantastic moustache." And he'd start talking about the moustache. And the guy behind was fuming because he thought himself as being very important. You're not important in parts of India unless you have a moustache.
So the moustache wax, Richie will give you a breakdown of the price point. He's the man to explain that.
So Richie,
Well, we haven't actually totally determined the price point as yet. But we have to take, obviously, the market into consideration. But I am a niche brand, so you won't necessarily find me in the cheap, in the Sally's and the Super Drugs and the Boots Chemists or Walgreens or your equivalents. But we are in the price range of True Fit and Hill. So it's not completely unattainable, but it's something that's actually desirable.